Yay.
Okay, we're live.
Excellent.
Waiting for my YouTube to catch up.
Yeah, and the plugin's not running because it's...
Alright.
There you go. I just heard you, or heard me, rather.
No, that was an old video. I went to refresh. I pushed the refresh button.
Oh, it's actually working. Wow. So, on my OBS, it actually now does actually have the chat, believe it or not.
That's cool.
So,
But my page has not refreshed yet, so hold on.
All right.
I've got live video when I'm looking.
Very nice.
So, and the sound comes through, so it looks good.
Okay, so we got sounds, we got everything else. Yay. Okay. And then we got their updates. Excellent. There's other things with OBS, evidently, that one can actually set up sort of a permanent stream deck, if you will. I have not done that yet, but I'll probably get there. I never thought of myself trying to be a YouTube streamer, but there you go. But in any case, again, welcome everybody to the 10th multiplayer test. The main things we're probably going to poke at today, other than actually playing, is the actual terrain has been updated, and the Ernest, you need to turn that down because we're just hearing crash, boom, bang there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have poked my table.
Yep. And we're also going to be testing very briefly the new multiplayer graphics and the ability for the server to load and save, so that progression can actually happen, which is a big thing. And also some bug fixes and stuff like that that will hopefully come through. And that's basically what we're trying to do. So, on all that note, I am starting the server, so to speak. I'll say when it's up. And in all reality, I gotta tell the OBS to actually switch to the game. This is why I want to get the button set up, so we'll just kind of do it on its own. Or I can use my laptop or my cell phone. So I mean, they have some interesting things that way.
I'm surprised you don't have a remote server activation. That would seem like your kind of thing.
Oh, it is my thing. I just haven't had the motivation to do it, but I'm getting more there over the weekend.
For audience reference, this is the guy who can access his smart house from another country on his phone.
Yeah, don't tell people that because then they want to hack my house. So one of the big changes, of course, now we have load hosted game, but we'll go through normally first. So we have these brand new graphics done by Paul. I should probably show what the join screen looks like, but we're already in here.
Ooh.
So server is up.
So fancy.
Fancy graphics. I wonder who did that. All right. Now, we definitely had to change out the font and shrink them down so they don't quite go off the edge like that and stuff like that, but we've known that for a while now. So, as you can see, things have been moved around. Oops, wrong button. Whee. I don't know what's doing that, but yay. So is everybody in who's coming in? Adam, do you want to select your ship and such?
Are we all doing the same team as we have previously?
Currently we don't have to continuing, but yeah, just for the initial test.
I am still waiting for some graphics to load. It's been several seconds.
Really?
Like what you're seeing on the stream Okay, so for record, what you see on the stream just loaded in for me finally. So that's a couple minute graphic load up now.
I didn't have any problem. It showed up for me instantly, so
Okay, then we'll
What
see.
I would,
I'm sure I'll be dropped at least once. We'll see if it's an isolated incident or not.
it probably isn't. You probably have hyperthreading turned off. Unfortunately, the only way to really fix that is to delete your config file and just let it redo itself because it defaults to hyperthreading on. What's happening is it should be offloading your picture decoding onto the other processors. And if the hyperthreading is turned off,
then the one processor tries to do everything.
kind of, yeah. And it becomes a very bad thing.
Well, I cannot click ready, but I am ready.
Alright. So, everybody's all set, I guess?
Out of curiosity, Jordan, what happens when you try to click ready?
Nothing. I mean, the button highlights when I hover over it. It just doesn't do anything.
Well, because you never selected the ship, you never selected the team, you never selected the rank.
Oh, you have no ship selected. I see a rank and a team for you, but no ship.
Totally was selected. All right, whatever.
Now you have a beam ship. Your team's not selected, your rank needs to be selected.
My screen, both of those are totally selected.
I'm seeing him as Alpha and Mayor, so he's
Yeah, me
showing up
too.
as stuff
I see.
to me.
I saw what Arthur saw. No team or no rank.
Alright. There you
All
go.
right, well, I recycled it, and then it let me hit ready. So that's weird,
Yeah.
because on my screen, it was all selected. I had to go redo it.
Alright. Well, that's why it won't let you do ready, because if it knows you don't have all three in there, it won't let you select ready.
Knows or thinks it knows.
Yes, pretty much. So there you go.
Interestingly, Art, on my screen, you do not have a rank.
Me either. I don't see that for us.
Same. Arthur does
Yeah.
not have a rank.
Oh
Really?
yeah, same. Yeah, just blank.
Oh,
blank
yeah,
square.
you're right, because I never actually selected it. You're 100% right. Doopy doopy. So
But do we
interesting.
have a Warmaster?
We do not.
We do not. Someone should be the Warmaster that's not the host, because that's a better task, in my opinion.
I'll do it.
Of course. Okay, there you go. Thank you for... Yeah. Alright, now we're starting. Whee!
Okay.
And I forgot. Joystick! Yay!
Saw some interesting chat text there just before we joined in. Looks like some kind of code.
Really? I mean, I'm looking at the chat text. I don't see anything there. Is there anything there?
It just showed up momentarily before he changed screens. So
Yeah, I
guess, like,
saw.
Oh,
two of those
meaning the
text
game
fields.
chat text.
yes.
Oh, that's different. Am I moving? I'm moving. I shouldn't be moving. Alright. Okay. So, I guess my... Is this... I don't know what's going on. Great, my joystick's drifting. I guess it has to be recalibrated again.
Hmm.
That's not good. Okay.
Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
so I've been accidentally mashing keys. / Why does it change terrain colors?
That's a debug. We actually went over that last week, actually.
Ah, I missed that. That's it.
And now, if you notice, one of the big things is the terrain doesn't have giant freaking gaps in it.
I noticed that, actually.
It looks a lot nicer, yes.
Yeah, it's
also,
scary,
should I start building, or you have more to announce?
No, you can start building. You can go do that while I'm talking. That's the beauty of this.
Okay.
So, to show everybody what Ernest was talking about, is there's a debug for how things sew together, and still not perfect, but it's 80-90% the way there. Also, you might have noticed that the frame rate does not drop when the train shifts, because it's now offloaded to another processor. So anytime a train update needs to happen, it happens on another processor, and then it tells the main system, hey, I'm done, and it just switches it, and it's pretty instantaneous, and you don't even notice, which is the beauty thing now.
This
So,
looks way nicer.
oh yeah. So now, I'll hit the slash key so people see what I'm talking about. Now, if you look on my screen now, there are these different lines. That's actually the different larger triangles going... Now, when I say larger triangles, you have to understand that to represent a planet takes a lot of triangles. Let's call it what it is, especially in real size. So what's happening is every triangle is subdivided into 4 triangles, and those are subdivided into 4 triangles, and it keeps them going down. And eventually you have the smallest that my external graphic will go, which is about each pixel representing about 5 miles across. It's like 25 miles square. And that's a problem in and of itself. So I'm actually zooming in on this. And so the problem is that then that sub-triangle, in order so it doesn't look like complete garbage, has to have a lower level height map. The bigger problem I had before was I had no way of smoothly going between all the different heights, because triangles don't go into squares any better than anything else than a circle does. So maybe a little bit better, but not by much. So before I had these giant peaks and these cliffs, and it just looked like garbage. So what I did was, way before, was as you go from a higher res triangle, which has maybe thousands, tens of thousands of triangles in it, it will then scale down to the next resolution below it. And the problem is when it doesn't mesh perfectly, then you see those gaps. So what you're seeing is, with these blue stripes and yellow and red, green stripes and stuff like that, is the resolution dropping. Now, to give an example of this, if I get up close to here, you see how you have the cyan triangle here? You have a blue line coming in and a green line coming in, and this is the actual corner of the mega triangle. But these are the corners of the mega triangles next to it. And look how much bigger they are. They're literally twice the size. So what you're actually seeing is this section here has twice as many, actually 4 times as many triangles as the one next to it. But as it meshes up, it's twice the gap. So when I turn this off, you can't tell it was ever there. That's the point. So now you get a level of detail drop. So the stuff that's very, very close is very, very, very detailed, and the stuff that's further away isn't. But because of the distance, you couldn't tell anyway, which is the whole point. So that way you can keep the system going very high res, even though at distance it's very low res. Now internally, when it does calculations about what hits the ground, it's always using the high res mapping. And again, that's kind of the point. Now, if you notice, you can't build anything else, Jordan, because the current tech web is only letting you do a warehouse. I guess you built 2 research centers, and of course the reactor. Now that's a good question.
I wouldn't research stuff, but yeah.
Yes. So if we actually want materials, and therefore actually be able to use a factory, we should start researching mines and refineries, and yeah.
Done.
Done.
See, this is actually a very high risk decision, because the problem is basically like you start out with the builder bot with just enough materials to basically to get your production going. So if you spend part of that on actually doing a secondary research center instead of getting like a mine or refinery up, that means that the bot's going to have to basically essentially hard mine and hard refine.
Yep.
It seems to have enough to do the mine as well.
Yeah, what did you do the refinery?
I do like the fog effect you got
just
here,
because
too.
of how these things go, I figured I'd let you know that. I don't know if they have weapons. No, they do.
Oh.
There are ships.
They're done already?
Oh, you boosted that, huh?
I just maybe not have unboosted it. I think it's more accurate. So you might want to get that, refinery and factory
you guys
up.
go kill it.
Okay, should we do our next test? Which is for me to actually save game, everybody out, then everybody come back in. That is one of the tests,
Okay.
Sure.
So let me do that. I will exit out, and I will do a save. And I will be such a horrible person, and I will now quit. The server's now down. Alright. And what I want people to do...
Well, it crashed, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I did tell you it turned down. I killed the server.
Yeah, I'm just reporting for the sake of posterity, but it was expected.
Yes, it was very much expected. It should have kicked you out. It should have just crashed. But
I'm still sitting in the game.
I was still
Alright.
in the game. I actually quit out.
It did not
myself.
kick me out. It crashed.
all right.
Yeah,
well,
I
quit
just
out.
hit
Come back in, please.
quit.
All right. So On my end as the host, I'm going to load the hosted game. We actually have a lot of multiplayer saves here. I guess it's this one. We'll find out. I gotta have a better way of keeping track of which one's which. I have a date time there so we know what's going on. I'm gonna click OK. Server is up. And somehow I don't think that was the one that everybody did. No, that definitely was not it. Not the right server. Not the right one. Not the one. Sorry. Alright, so... I know I saved it. Well, I can just do one of the other ones. So how many minutes do you think we were in?
Only a couple.
About 3 minutes, maybe 4.
Okay.
5-ish, because I did 2 30-second researches at least.
Alright, then I'll just do the auto-saved ones. Because obviously... Alright. Yeah, there's only 2 manual multiplayer saves. I can try that last one, but I just don't think that's... Oh, maybe it is this one. Okay, it's this one. I know it. That's right. Okay. Is this it? This is it. Yeah, this is it. Alright, everybody in. If you would, please. Whee!
Oh, there we go. That's
Yep.
cool.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Takes you right back in.
Yes. That's
There's
the
the-
idea.
There's the research centers and everything.
That's right. So, we now have progression. Because even if everything crashes and does something horrible, we simply go to the multiplayer save. All the saves every 2 minutes. Now, of course, I'm frozen right now.
Sorry, I crashed and I was just looking to see why.
Alright. Well, that's going to mess everybody else up, but yeah.
Wait, you're. That happened, but I can still see somebody else moving.
Because the server itself is frozen up, the client's lag behind. Now I'm back.
Okay, then they just snapped back to where they probably were supposed to be.
Right.
I just crashed.
Yeah, because because the pause screwed the server, everything else got all screwed up too.
Okay.
So yeah. Now I'm getting really horrible frame rates, and I don't think it's OBS.
And
No,
crashed.
mine are not super great right now.
Yeah, but usually it's what happened last time was OBS wasn't set right, and so the encoder was complete trash. And so it was really, really horrible. I should not have 20-something frames a second. That's not right. Alright, try to come back in. I'm gonna have to see whether or not during the in-between if OBS is killing the system or not. I saw someone shooting somebody over there.
I'm in now.
Oh, do we not have turret technology yet?
No, you have to research it.
Okay, then.
Oh, well, I did actually notice that the AI didn't build turrets. It built everything, then started building fighters. So
What do I want?
It depends on the order in which it researches.
usually before it builds the factory, it builds the turret.
I understand that, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same time in each game.
Oh, well, no, I'm saying I'm just pointing out the change.
Well, yeah, last time I think I didn't have to research turrets.
That's true too. So
That
it
was
was
part of-
lower in the thing.
So that was probably the main thing, is that like last time you didn't have to research them, so it's nice to just put them up. Now it does, so it's gonna make choices.
Well, as
I,
I
on the
said,
other hand, like many of us toolers, like my stack defenses, so I'm doing that immediately.
right. Well, as I said, there's always something that's going on. Meaning, I know the tech web got updated, and this does have Adam's latest tech web. So that's why you have to research mines like you did before. So I think, as you mentioned, turrets were accessible, and now they're not, and which is okay. So the builder bot built what it could. That's true. It's true on the opposite side. I didn't think OBS really trashed my system this badly.
You did add plugins.
I did add plugins. There's a thing called NDI that evidently you can offload the encoding onto another machine. And my laptop's just sitting here, and maybe that's the answer. And maybe I do it that way. I heard it's a process to get it set up, but I have the feeling that That's the next thing I'll have to be doing. Because if this is an issue with the OBS killing the frame rate, that's not really helping. Okay, well, back to point. So I would say now, is everybody in the game again? Can we declare that?
Not yet.
I'm
I'm
in.
in.
Art Jordan, are you in?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry,
All right. I'm surprised you haven't started to build more city stuff.
I was trying to.
Okay.
I think I've used up my allowance. I need Daddy Paul to give me more money.
Ah, right.
Daddy Paul.
All right, let me see if I can't remember how to do this. Okay, I'm going to the asset screen, opening up computer 0. Okay.
And it's very imperative that you delete Ernest.
Yeah.
You have to space him.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Okay,
Every
so
game.
there's me.
I don't know, Matt. Paul's the Warmaster, isn't he supposed to be allowed to?
Well, I should be able to give you money too. I can give it out of my own coffer.
Oh, how do we do that?
Well, sure, but like, shouldn't be,
I just randomly crashed.
okay.
Okay, so I
Like
see
I just floating
Jordan.
there and then crashed.
So what? Raw materials?
No, yeah, RMs, yes.
Oh, refined materials, RM. Okay.
Yeah. Raw materials will be ore, by definition.
Yeah, it started to grab some stuff out of the refinery, but then I
Premium
think
single
it
list.
ran out of money.
All right, so I'm gonna take what I have, and I'm gonna give it to Jordan because Jordan needs to get stuff done, and I am going to give him.
Do I go to Jordan's listing or do I go to my listing to give him stuff?
You give him to your listing. Actually, I'll go through the procedure.
All right.
So you look up yourself. In this case, I'm Lord Art. You put your cursor over where it says refined materials, which looks like ingots.
Mhm.
You know,
Which
bricks.
window are we going to for this?
The asset screen. It on your menu, it looks like a sheet of paper. On the Omniball, I should say. And then you click on the thing that says refined materials, which is, like I said, looks like those bricks. I mean, move your mouse cursor over, it says refined materials. It'll turn red. Yes, see that?
The only thing I got on my thing is computer 0. What am I
You
missing?
have
Alright,
to open the personnel
alright.
bars.
Alright, let's start from scratch then.
Oh, there we go. I got it.
Alright,
Didn't realize
so...
that from last time. So.
Yeah, there's something really wrong with the system here. So, when you first go on the asset screen, all you see is computer 0, and I know
Yeah,
the
hit the
name's
plus.
wrong.
Yeah, I
And you hit
didn't.
the plus to expand, and then you see everybody and what everybody has.
Yeah.
In my case, I'm going to go to Lord Art, and I'm going to move my mouse cursor onto the red bar, and 3/4 of the way across, there's a section called Refined Materials. Now I have 1140 something. So if I click on that, you can't click on the number yet. Well, actually, no, I take that back. You can click on the number, it just doesn't highlight.
Yes, I didn't update the highlighting for everything.
Okay, fair enough, but that did work. So now I can then find Jordan, click on him, and then I can say I'll give him 428. And I'll just move the slider back and forth and go, okay, and then click the OK button, which is, I assume that's what that little transfer thing is. And I click that, and it should lower my amount, and his should have gone up.
I think that made me
And
crash.
yet the bot is not moving.
Now, it didn't seem to update here, so the question is, did it transfer? Now, my question is, why aren't you... Oh, it probably transferred and probably ate it all immediately, actually.
So if I actually accidentally get
The
back
bot
into this,
is not moving.
Jordan,
I'm gonna.
the bot is not moving because it still doesn't have enough. What were you building that was so expensive?
A single turret.
Okay, as I mentioned to Adam before, depending on how big that turret is, that could be very, very, very expensive, like in the thousands.
That's
Which
not
means
something I would know.
I understand that, so it's going to sit there for a while. That's why you're constantly at 0, where everybody else is much higher.
So if I'm stuck in lobby, how do I actually get back to the game?
Yeah, I crashed the desktop too.
Well, if you crash your desktop, you just go join and come in like you would at any
I-
time.
I click something and I'm in the lobby now. How do I actually get back to the game without quitting?
Oh,
Sandbox.
Sandbox. What they said.
But this also
Now
had a
I
random
crashed
crash.
when I clicked on the refined materials.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
that's when I crashed as well. When I clicked
I just
on that.
crashed too.
Okay, so yeah.
Yep, me too.
So Matt, it's online. Where I actually crashed was on line 3958 inside the asset screen, But what's complaining about is the OGO2 is coming back as null. So it's looking for ADI D01 dropdown. That's an interesting thing. Under the OG asset controls, and it's not finding it.
Why are the turrets suddenly so expensive?
That depends on what Adam changed. Adam and I had a discussion about if there was a lot of space inside the turrets, that it will actually multiply up. So if you have a turret that allows 320 space in it, and the weapon you put in is only 10 space, it expands to fill the void.
Yeah,
So that means it's 32 times as expensive for that one turret.
yeah, but this is gonna be like tier 0 stuff. So
I mean, I just did the basic research to gain access to turrets and nothing else.
yeah, if you're putting basically like the tier 0 beam into a tier 0 turret, it should be about the build should be 750 resources plus whatever the gun costs. The only change I made recently was I actually changed the E output from being 0 to now being about 20, which would be about four times the amount you'll need for that beam.
Okay. So it shouldn't be that expensive because those beams aren't that expensive, are they?
Nope. There's. I mean, the actual cost of the weapon should be basically like a fraction of the overall if it's scaled up. I think.
We'll find out the hard way. So here's the thing. I know. Whoops! I go in the multiplayer. I go in the location game. I checked my directory to see what the latest save was on the 007. I click on that guy, and you know what? We continue where we left off.
Server up.
How's that for Snazzy? Yes, server's up.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So at this level with the way I have the beams currently scaled, it'll basically make it go from about 750 RMs to about 1300 RMs.
Well, that's expensive.
Yep. But you should also the turrets will also be about, I'm assuming, about 4 times more effective.
Okay. Now I'm all like frozen on the server end, so
Yeah, I just tried to join the rejoin, and I'm just looking at a black screen with a busy mouse icon.
I got in, but now I'm frozen.
well, that means because you crashed, Paul. So try to exit out. If you're getting it, well, now I'm back.
Yeah, I just like let it bomb out and.
Yeah.
Right. So if you see the spinny, that's not the game anymore. That's Windows going bad.
Up and crashed.
Yeah.
Try to come in. Server is still up.
Okay.
When did you add the train fog? Was that last session or is it this session?
The what? I'm sorry. The train follow?
The train fog. You know, off in the distance, I'm seeing fog.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't exist. That's your graphics card being silly. I haven't added that yet.
Okay. Because it looks nice that way.
That's totally a feature.
Yeah, it's totally a feature. No, what happened was the old terrain, when it got to the far edges, would revert to just single triangles and look like complete garbage. So I don't let it drop down that low anymore. I drop it at least to 4 triangles rather than just 1. And so now it looks solid to the edge. It doesn't have fog on the edge, but it doesn't look like complete garbage anymore either.
Well, I keep crashing the desktop.
Yeah. Same here.
Well, the good news is that it's building your turret, Jordan. All right, try to join now because it's not it's not actually building anything.
Yeah, I crashed out as well, so I'm rejoining.
Yeah.
I mean, turrets are nice.
I'm definitely noticing a lot of crashes surrounding the period of time while a building is building.
Yeah, I think it's the special effect that's going across the network, and it's going, we don't like you. I thought I had fixed it. I guess the answer is no. If you know what I mean.
Well, there's your problem right there.
There's your problem right there.
You've got a skull embedded in your head.
Yeah, something like that. Shall I remove it for you?
Alright, I am back in.
Alright, he's back in. The turret's up.
I'm back
I'm
in.
in.
Alright. Like I said, I guess, Matt, we're going to have to sit there and actually just do a lot of building and then come out and come back in and we see exactly where it's popping.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know what's killing it. Obviously something is. But I don't have a good answer for why.
We should probably up the number of computers we use to 4, so I'll get Heather's laptop.
Okay.
And we can just max the system out as much as we can.
It's not necessarily a bad idea.
Yeah. I'm also available if you need extra bodies for testing.
Is everybody in?
Yep.
Because if the build
I'm
is, I
in.
probably want to make sure everyone's in before I start building more turrets.
Yeah,
Shall
I'm
I
in.
give give Jordan some
I'm
more
not
materials
yet.
then?
Hold
Oh,
All right, so Ogre's not.
also, we wouldn't mind a factory, so we can actually maybe like build other things.
Sure, I can do a factory next to. Well, actually, I don't know how to cancel.
Don't
Meaning,
worry about it.
I have it sitting on turret, waiting to place, waiting until Ogre says
Just
he's
place
in.
it.
I'm
Oh,
in.
okay. He's in.
Okay.
So,
Placing.
Matt,
And then I'll
now
do a
I just
factory next.
crashed.
I just crashed.
I just crashed. So,
Was trying to draw some backdrop.
it was trying to decode an order from you, and it couldn't. I think because you were sitting there. Whoa! That ate Visual Studio completely.
Huh.
Wow.
That's bad. That's not good.
I'm
So
still
is the
evidently in
server
the
crashed?
game.
Paul,
Yeah.
the system's dead. You might as well exit out.
Okay then.
If the server's crashed, you might as well
Hmm.
exit.
Very well.
So yeah. That's because like the pointer was going someplace it really shouldn't. You know, it's like don't tickle it there kind of thing. So yeah.
Don't feed it after midnight.
Pretty much. So again, the good news is I guess I can just kind of I don't know if we got to the next multiplayer or not. I mean, next save point. I'm gonna say no because I didn't check. So we're just gonna go to the same multiplayer load that we did before. All right, so I'm back in the game. I mean, therefore the server's up. All right, let me see what your guy's doing here. All right. So server is up. If that helps anybody.
Yeah, I'm connected in. I'm in.
Interestingly enough, the builder bot's getting every little small bit it can from the refinery. Every once in a while, you see a tractor beam trying to grab more items.
I'm in as well.
Oh,
It's
I'm back
cool
out
how,
again.
even when I'm not in the game, I still have an allowance.
Yep. So they're going again.
On that note, would you like more stuff then, Jordan?
Dunno. I mean, yes, forever. Until it's time for everyone to start producing their own ships, I need the stuff.
Yeah.
All right then.
I am
Oh,
coming
there
back in
it goes.
again. Oh.
It's moving. It's going off to build it.
All right, now I'm back in.
I was trying to give Jordan some resources.
So Jordan, what does your resource? Actually, I can go look. All right, something blew up.
I just joined, so
Okay.
I'm joining back in right now. Oh, I keep crashing the desktop. Is the builder building something? I'm
It is
assuming?
building a
the
turret.
builder is now building the turret. Yes.
I was on this last stream. Literally, you said something about it, Earth. That's why I commented.
Yeah. All right.
It is now
The builder is now
not
done.
building.
The builder's not building. Come in.
I'm trying to come back in. I'm loading up right now.
That's
Hello,
really...
second turret. You would have defended me in high school, wouldn't you?
Mhm.
You're my friend, not like these other people.
All
I
right.
just crashed out. Right as I was trying to transfer some resources to Jordan, refined materials.
All right. I have to somehow recalibrate my joystick somehow because that's really screwy.
Rejoining, okay?
Yes, should be fine.
I'm in now.
I'm just checking to see what Jordan actually has in his goodie bag here. Got a lot of messages there, Jordan. Yep, you got 300 and something.
Here, I'm going to share my phone.
300, so. Do we have the technology for a ship factory yet? Do I have to go research that?
You're gonna have to go research that.
All right, well, that's
Yeah.
something to do. Okay. What would it be under?
All right now.
Fabrication? Factories. Gotcha.
Yep.
Boop. And while that's working, I would like tactical missiles.
I'm gonna try and give Jordan some more RMs.
This is interesting. I don't know if they're producing any more ships.
They might not. not be. It may be a glitch in the matrix, so to speak.
That's probably why I mentioned it.
Yeah. Alright, I want to see if the transfer works. Actually, tell you what I'm gonna do. Jordan, I'm gonna give you some materials,
Hmm.
and I want to see if it goes up.
I'm sorry,
Um,
what is a Gilgamesh Mark 1?
I was about to do that.
Gilgamesh is the missile.
Sure, I'll research that.
Yeah. Matt, I click on Jordan, and it keeps on saying 2F.
2F?
Point 2F. It's showing. It's not actually decoding what I'm trying to send.
I have too many Fs to give.
Wow.
You can't give me any more.
Yeah,
I can
that's...
I can select Jordan, and I see the default 1000 with the chain and the arrow like transfer button icon.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can actually send that his way. 1001.72.
All right,
Click
now
the
I'm
button.
frozen.
I just clicked the thing. The listing and the interface went away. My RMs are still increasing and have not, depleted by the amount. So I'm
Yes, I'm frozen.
I have the same problem. I've tried repeatedly to give Jordan some error arms, but still
Alright.
not transferring.
Yeah, they're not transferring. The usage, I thought they did transfer at one point. So don't you love that? It did work, and now it's not. But
It worked
yeah,
last
as the
week.
server,
I just-
I'm frozen. I don't know
just
what's going on.
successfully transferred 1,000 RMs to Jordan. Or
Matt
should
is
have.
officially my sugar daddy.
Yep. All right, something happened.
I hope you're proud.
Yeah, and now I'm frozen.
Well, you would be because it's okay. Honestly, it blew up the same spot when I tried to do the transfer. Same exact error, same exact spot.
Yeah, I got one crash on that, and then
Yeah.
the next time I came in, I was able to do the transfer, and now the game just went away.
Well, because I actually had to quit out.
Oh,
You quit out, okay.
I had no choice in the matter. So I will not be trying to do a transfer.
You want to take 5 and see if you can find the problem, or do you think it would take forever?
It will require another release and stuff like that. I mean, I know exactly. It's a Matt's bullywhack, and I'm not trying to be an ass. So yeah. So now the good news is we go right back where we were. So we're right back where we're waiting for the stupid thing to get enough RMs to. Now what you should be able to do, Paul, is
Yes.
change the percentage that Jordan gets reaping the rewards. Should be able to up his budget. So the server's back up. So if you actually go back into the asset screen and then change his budget, it should just work.
Okay, then.
So
Getting back in, launching the game.
yeah, I gotta fix this.
Is the builder bot building something? I just got crashed out again.
I don't think so. I can check.
I mean, I told it to build a factory before we crashed out. I have no idea if it's doing that yet.
Yeah, but I
haven't
didn't
gotten
use
back
that. I didn't use that save because I didn't think we got that far. It's still waiting for getting enough to do
Yeah.
that first turret.
I am connecting. I am in.
All right.
All right, so now then. Okay, so
Yep, we're back here.
Jordan.
So isn't it nicer that we don't have to start from scratch? I mean, that to me
Yes.
is a
It
huge
is.
thing.
That is very nice.
Mhm.
So another thing that Matt is in the process of adding, which I will show on the system, is
By the way, people who are about to try and join, it is about to start building a turret.
about to start building a turret.
All right, so I'm upping Jordan's percentage. What should I do on his budget?
Up his budget.
What percentage?
Whatever you feel like. You're the Warmaster. Make a decision.
70%
Warmasters
it is.
make decisions.
Yep, Warmasters make decisions. So it's done building that. Unfortunately, my joystick is really not calibrated. I wish it was.
Sure. I assume that the number in a parentheses is the percentage.
Yeah, so let me go and show people what you're talking
All right.
about. So Paul is going to Jordan's budget. And there's a 13.5 and it says 50. Now the 50 means it's a relational percentage versus the actual percentage. So if you notice, Jordan's now is at 70.6 because he upped it. So now he's getting 19% of the take rather than his 13%. So Paul, if you would, could you jack him up to like 100?
All right then.
All right. So you saw him real time change that. That wasn't me doing that. So now he's getting a complete solid quarter of everything that the refinery is producing.
Hmm.
And if you notice,
Yeah.
everybody else's percentage has gone down appropriately
Yeah,
because there's so
I
many more
watched mine.
players.
I watched mine drop as he turned it up. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to work. Now, I don't understand why the transfer isn't happening, but what that will mean is that Jordan's RMs that he's using to build the entire city will come in that much quicker for him. Now, if you want to compensate, if you want to take it that way, um, Paul can actually lower the numbers on somebody else, and so they get a lower number, and then again it will automatically rebalance the percentaging. The reason why it's done this way is so it's much easier to change the budgets of people because it's all related. So if everybody has the same number, everybody's getting the exact amount anyway.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how that one works and gets away with it. It makes it a lot easier. So for example, if Paul put everybody at 100, everybody would get the equal amount. We'd be back at that 12 point whatever percentage we had before, when it was 13 or whatever it was. But if he starts pulling people down, then everybody else will start going up in relation to each other, and that's it was an easy answer for how do you easily change people's budgets without trying to whip out a calculator. You know, because most of you just want to go, all right, Jordan needs more money, here you go, you know, or you can just transfer it to him, which we know there's a bug in the thing, so there's a different way around it. So right now, Jordan's got like 1,100 or so, almost 1,200 RMs to build stuff with, so he actually can build something if he wanted to.
It is going to build a factory now.
There you go. Now the rest of us are up around like 2,400 because we haven't actually spent anything. We will.
Well, you will soon.
Should I
Yeah.
lower
So-
people?
Also,
then?
I did redo the research on the Gilgamesh missiles if you want to have some missiles.
And missiles should be working in the system, although there's no doubt they're very OP. But we need this. And the game's meant to be OP anyway, so we're kidding.
Yeah. They were having rebalanced since last time, so they're now twice as fast and half as deadly.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll see how they work out.
So they should be able to catch you, but they won't hurt as much.
Oh, the factory is going up.
Yep, I see it. Excellent. So, what did everybody think of the new lobby and join screens in the multiplayer?
Looks very nice.
That's good.
Looks better.
There you go.
Thank you.
And that was a collaboration between Paul and Matt. Paul obviously did the graphics, and Matt actually implemented them. All right. Why are you shooting the ground? There's a ground there, Monty. Okay. So that means the factory's up, so we can actually start making designs and start cranking out stuff if we wanted to.
You can, and I'm making another power plant to facilitate that.
Should I
Yeah.
lower everybody else's stuff so that Jordan's RMs replenish even faster?
Well,
We're
they
not
appear to be
bothered
building
with
ships
that.
again.
Well, I mean, we saw the builder bot go to the refinery and pick up a whole bunch of refined materials from it, and then he's going off to build something else. And it's a reactor.
Yeah, so, that we can run all this shit.
Yep.
I don't, again, one of the things I really don't know is like how much power does any given building use, but I know we're at 2, now we're at, a mine, a refinery, 2 researches, and a factory, so I thought more power might be a good idea.
Matt, as a curiosity, you know how we just have the address and the status? Maybe we should actually have
Yes.
also on that line about how much power per second it's pulling.
What is a warehouse for?
A warehouse is supposed to store all the ore and the refined materials and such.
Does it do that?
It does work, yes, but there's no reason to have it. Meaning, I should put limitations saying that a refinery can only hold so much, if you know what I mean, maybe 10,000 units or 1,000 units or whatever. So you have to have a warehouse because it just can't fit it all, and so it'll shut itself down if it's full. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right now, there's no limit. You could have like 10 million in there, I wouldn't care. So it's starting to put those kind of limitations into the system that force you to go, yes, you need to build a warehouse, and maybe put an upper amount on the warehouse, saying, okay, we need to build multiple warehouses because you just can't hold it all. Think of a silo or some other games, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would be hard to implement. It just hasn't been.
Fair enough.
It's like anything else. It's definitely a work in progress, but we do this.
All right, well, I'm gonna
s-
put more turrets down while I wait for some more researches to be done.
there you
So
go.
Arthur, you were suggesting replacing the address with how much power it's drawing,
No, adding
or
yet
adding
another
it?
piece of information.
Okay. So that would duplicate the one of the items from the installation bar.
Would it?
Yes, there is a row. If you open the installation bar, you've got, of course, all the icons for the quantities of individual building types, and then immediately underneath them, that is the percentage of power they're drawing.
Yeah, but that's not saying how much power it's drawing.
Ah, okay, you want the absolute number.
Yeah, because we have 2 reactors, and in the upper right, we have like 4,800 out of 5,000, and it's drawing a certain amount of power. But we really don't know. We can say how much one thing. All that percentage means is what's being allocated, much like the budgets are being allocated. So saying how much things are going back and forth. So, for example, a new turret just popped up, so it's eating a quarter of the power. The researcher's eating another quarter. Everybody else is just kind of being there. So, but we really don't know how much that building really wants to draw by itself. Like a
Gotcha.
warehouse is not going to draw that much power, but a turret shouldn't draw that much power unless it's firing. And so maybe like sort of live saying, well, was it actually drawing right now?
Okay. I'll see.
Or
I'll fiddle with the text and see what I can fit in there.
yeah,
While you're looking at it, do I need more reactors or less?
you look fine. It's
Do
maintaining at 5,000, so like I said, if that was dropping through the floor, then that'd be a problem. But right now it's okay.
Okay,
It's replenishing pretty well.
more turrets.
Yeah.
My
A
only true friends.
That may be very true. And I see you started to build the next turret. The percentages shifted, and we have an extra turret, which is getting literally 33% of the power.
Let's see, we are at 1, 2, 3 turrets. Yeah, 3 turrets.
Yep, I have a count here. So I think it's automatically balancing it based on what everything draws. So the turrets are representing the full third of the reactor output, meaning both reactors. But that's okay. We don't know. It's definitely not overloading the system. Because I'm looking at how much power is in the whole facility, and it's maintaining around 5,000, so it's fine. Um,
You don't have the AI respawn its or like destroy its ship after it gets destroyed, do you?
the AI destroyed ship after.
Yeah,
Try to repeat that again.
you know how in multiplayer when the ship is damaged
Yeah.
beyond repair, instead of letting it drift off into space, it deconstructs it and you respawn.
No, it's not that smart yet.
Okay, because I was gonna say you got something zooming out at about 100,000
I
right
can't
now.
get to
Because
the
something was
installation
attacking
screen.
something else, and then it went hell with it.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a damaged ship that's drifting off into space. That's what I was asking. I didn't
Right.
know if that would cause a system lag over time with
No, it's just
all the
gonna.
ships eventually not being destroyed, just drifting off into space.
That would cause a lag, yes. But
Yeah, that's
having
what
a
I mean.
single
Like,
ship going
yeah,
off
not a
into the
single
ether
ship.
is not going to do anything.
No, I'm not worried about it. Just for future reference. I didn't know if that was something that was intended
Well,
or
we
not.
were
Because I know you
trying to.
talk about scrapping and stuff like that. So
Yes, we were trying to do salvage, so we wanted to drift off.
yeah,
But there's a point where we go, okay, if it's should there be a despawn time limit, if you
yeah.
will.
That's what I was asking more about. Is
You know.
if you
And as soon as you put that in there, people go, "Well, I still wanted to go get it."
well, they can turn it off.
By the way, for
Yeah,
your shipbuilding reference, I just did a whole bunch of, ship part researches.
that should be good.
A lot of capacitors, basic shields, the autocannons.
I'm gonna go into the shipbuilder, and I am gonna grab myself a red ship. Oh, I guess I did disable that. Oh well, ignore that.
But I'm just about ready for you nice heroes to go and save the day.
Heroes.
Or, not the other guys. Whatever.
Fair enough.
Heroes in the Greek sense, not the ethical sense.
Fair enough. Oh, I still have to write that expansion program for Catherine or Kathleen rather, to sort of revitalize the older ships. Because we have a lot of them. Where's the newer ones? Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Man, the system
So I
is
see them with a lot of stuff over there, but they don't seem to be coming over here.
That's because I can't make it over there.
Why, do you keep killing them?
Me and Ogre, at least, or someone else is over here.
I'm sitting here floating, but I have no engines anymore, so.
Okay.
I don't have any. Are you sure there's any engines and power and anything for anything?
I mean, I
Engines,
just
power,
did
default.
propulsion. Well, propulsion's being worked on. I
Okay.
did capacitors.
All right. There's chemical engines.
Engines, power, cockpit, and lasers should be the default.
Okay.
But some of these, are 5-minute researches.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Actually, I'll put in shields because yes.
I'm just kind of floating out here in the distance, looking at both our camp and the enemy
Everything
camp.
everything that's tier 0 should be basically 30 seconds of research. So if you're getting, so you should be able to make essentially everything at basic level at this point if you've done all the tier 0 research. If you're looking for better stuff, yeah, that's the tier 1 research. That's more expensive.
All right.
I still am
Okay,
having.
weird tech web thing. On here is research facilities, which states one of its required technologies as research facilities. So it requires itself to be researched for it to be researched.
Hey, Ogre.
Should say
destroy you
research
completely?
facility 1.
Possibly.
It just says research
But I don't
facilities,
have
no
ship
one
to
or
pop
2.
into, so.
I did.
We're getting
Probably
cut off.
way
The
earlier
text fields have a limit to how long they can be.
I guess.
Should I just stay out in the distance here and just observe, or should I move in and help take out some of those guys as they come closer?
Probably should move in and take out.
Yeah, right.
Jeez,
They look like they're retreating now, so.
I wish I knew what the pause was.
Well, the
Yeah.
same. Propulsion 2 is going to be done in about a minute.
The jumping ship bug is still a bug, right?
The dropping ship bug.
Jumping, where they jump up every so often.
Yes, because that's an equation. I never fixed that equation.
Okay. Just want to make sure because you're aiming at a ship and they just disappear and then it.
You're not wrong. Alright, so I'm gonna add in the deflector shield. That's a big shield. That's a really big shield. Oh my god, Adam, that's huge. Alright. I didn't expect that. Alright, that's
What do you
wrong. Well, I added a nice sized shield because I thought, well, I'll put a few thousand on, right? It's immense. It's bigger than the rest of the ship. Just the shield generator. That's a little epic. Alright, so
Probably because of scaling.
yeah, you could say that.
That's Adam. Sorry, Adam.
Alright, let's add the
Back got taken out.
Oh, that's entirely possible. I wasn't moving, so they could get me easily.
Alright, so I actually have a design. It's probably going to be horrific, but here we go anyway.
Okay, I think I just froze.
I just crashed out.
Yeah, I crashed.
Yeah. I'm
No
still in there.
factory queue.
The factory queue ate itself?
Yep, it was a factory queue getting sent over the network, and it came through as null, but tried to access it anyway.
Alright, because now I'm frozen. Is everybody actually out of the game?
I'm
No,
still here.
I'm
Not
still here
correctly.
flying around.
I'm still stuck.
Alright, well, you exit out of the game, Paul.
Or I'll have to.
But I could not find my way to get the research for the advanced research buildings. The only thing I could find was one research facilities in red,
Right.
There we go.
which
out.
still appeared to require itself as a tech.
I was noticing before I crashed that this one little cyborg controlled ship, enemy ship that I was dogfighting was kind of just jumping around, little, like jump teleport kind of things.
Yeah, that's what we're just talking about.
So are we exiting out, or are we waiting for people to finish crashing out?
You can come back in.
I didn't exit. I didn't know what we were doing. I'm sorry.
Yes, FYI, Jordan, that wasn't a research facility requiring itself.
Mhm.
There is a character limit.
Okay.
It would have been Research Facility 2 or Research Facility 3, and the 2 or the 3 is just getting cut off.
I guess, but I can't find a research facility 1 to research.
You already
You
have that one.
started with it.
Ooh, I just loaded it and crashed right away.
But then if I started with it and I did do computers too, why can't I not do this research facility?
I don't know.
Do you have
That would be
computers
a
2
question
completed?
for Adam.
Computers 2 is done. I could do computers 3 right now if I wanted.
Yep, then you should have research facilities 2 as an option.
And yet I don't.
Like Ogre, I just bombed out the moment I loaded it into the
Alright.
world.
The computers one is definitely researched. I don't see. Yeah, I mean, literally, propulsion's a thing. I see power. What's the computers 3? Or are you looking for computers 2?
I mean, I'm looking for to be able to research the next level of research facilities.
I understand that.
But
Alright,
computers 2
research
I see grayed
facility says these computers 2. But I don't see computers 2 in the listings.
out. I do. It's in the gray area at the bottom.
Okay, then.
Under turret installations and above tactical missiles.
I see what you mean by research facilities requires research facilities. But I see what you mean by right. But I don't see anything else that was done then. Allows research of research facilities Mark 1.
Yep, research facilities 2 requires research facilities 1 and computers 2. So if you have both of those prerequisites, it should be available to research.
I have both of those prerequisites, and it is not available to research.
Once again, I just tried to join back in and crashed.
Yes, I noticed. Unfortunately, because you ended up freezing everybody else out.
Hmm.
And you're doing it again, and there we go.
Since I crashed out the same time as Paul did, and I still haven't connected again, would you like me to connect or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I remain out for a bit, or?
You can come back in, but let's have people come in one at a time instead of just overloading the system and then wondering why it's having a problem.
I didn't try to connect, so I don't know if that was the issue or not. I literally hadn't tried to. I crashed out originally when Paul crashed out, is what I meant. I will come back in if no one else is now.
Okay. Alright, so now I'm actually in the brand new ship that I had constructed. Not sure the shielding is running quite right because it looks kind of funky. I don't really have good armor, obviously, but I have some pretty big beams.
Right, rejoining now. Alright, there we go.
And I am going really slow. I am definitely... See, I put up the reactors and stuff like that, so I could actually, have the shields and everything else like that, but this is a very not good design.
Is it safe to rejoin?
Yeah, should be all fine.
I just crashed. Or froze, at least. Crashed, yep.
Alright, Paul, why don't you stay out for a minute and let's see what happens with everybody else. If no one else is crashing, then we'll see what happens with that, instead of the constant pause and wait that we keep hitting.
Standing by then.
Yeah. Well, someone isn't, because someone just must have just rejoined again, because I just massively paused out again.
I just crashed out right now.
Same, just crashed.
Now, Matt, where are you seeing this crashing them? I mean, are you joining and seeing this?
I'm currently in the game. The last crash I had It was trying to decode a factory queue.
Okay. Are you in? So you're in the game now.
I'm currently in the game, yes.
Okay, so now I'm paused out, so someone else is. Yeah.
I'm paused. Oh, there's the crash.
Crashed.
Now I'm crashed out.
Same place. It's trying to decode a factory queue that I guess it's not getting.
All right.
You try to build something?
Oh, it's building things. Don't get. I mean, it's going crazy. I'm over here. I am over here destroying its factory because that's my purpose in life. Oops.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse. What the hell is going on here?
The dental is good.
Uh-huh. Alright, this is not getting anywhere. I mean, I realize people keep trying to join, and when they do, all hell breaks loose.
That's why I'm waiting until you say ready for me to join back in.
Alright. So... Wow, it's a very slow... So who's actually in the game right now? Is anybody in the game right now?
I am not.
I am not.
I am standing by.
Thank you for some answer.
I'm
Okay.
not.
Well, we answered we were not answering the question. Nobody
Yeah.
was saying yes.
Well, I mean, the first one was like, is anybody not in the game?
You said, is anybody in the game? Nobody was in the game. You
But
said,
then,
am I the only
then I
one?
asked the opposite question, I thought. But I guess
No,
No,
you
that's
asked the same question.
Okay. Shit. So, alright. So this is kind of in the land of old trash, I guess. Matt, why don't you join in and see if you can join in? It's obviously someone that's joining in.
Okay, one moment.
Alright, Ernest, we're getting a lot of background.
Is it from me?
Yeah.
Hold on, maybe adjust my microphone again then. Turn it down some more.
So,
Okay, joining.
yes. I guess you're in.
I'm in.
Alright, should we just like sort of start loading people in, so to speak?
I do not see anything in the queue currently. I hear a laser firing.
Well, there's no
Is that-
firing over there. So, who's the next person trying to come in?
I'll go.
Yeah, this ship design's not that great.
I'm in.
Mostly I want to see... You keep on saying it's a factory queue issue. At a certain point, we're going to have to stop and look at the logs.
Shall I try to join now or not?
Sure.
I was looking at my log and it said fact Q. I don't know if that does anything for you.
Well, it's the same thing that Matt was telling me was wrong.
Nope, I crashed right back out again.
Would you like me to join?
Sure.
The last message was error ship not found.
That's not good.
Actually, there's a whole bunch of messages that say that.
I am in.
Alright, Ernest, try to give it another shot, because the ship should be sent as part of the network join packet.
Alright, going back in again. I'm loading up right now, so I'll tell you when I'm about to join.
Now, what's weird with this is that for whatever reason, the... I wonder how big I am. Can anybody see actually how big I am? So I'm actually in the camera mode right now.
Joining.
Let's see.
I have entered the game, but I am in a foggy place right now.
Okay.
That's really weird.
I'm
I, uh,
I'm hung, I think, but like still in the game.
I can make a comment, but
There's no need to brag.
We're just done with phrasing now, right?
something like that, evidently.
Oh, frozen.
Yeah, I'm frozen because someone's joining. I mean, if this is what's going to be where we're just like going like froze to froze to froze, we should like back up and start over and do something.
Yeah, probably.
Um, I mean, is anybody still waiting to come in? I mean, usually it's in or out by now.
Up and I'm getting the spinnies, but it's not crashing out. Up and I'm back. I'm okay. I'm alive.
All right. Well, the server's completely paused, so
Yeah.
someone's eating the system.
I'm standing by on my desktop without the game even running, so I'm not involved at the moment.
let me see. I'll exit out of my game, see if I'm the one.
It ain't my child. I'm not involved.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. End tasking the game. Yeah, because I'm on not responding. Did that fix it?
Nope, it wasn't you.
Nope. Okie dokie.
I can see if it's me in some other regard. I don't think so. No, it's no crash on my end.
I'm gonna see if it's on my end.
Now, what I don't understand is on my ship, my shields, one, they're immense comparatively, and that shouldn't be happening. The second thing is that it's reporting a lot of the facets. Oh,
End
someone.
task. It was me.
It was definitely you.
Crash. Same spot.
Well, after all that kind of timing, that doesn't surprise me that people crashed. We were sitting there for about a good minute.
Yeah, it's NDP validate fact queue.
Well, usually when that's happening, I mean, I guess I could go look to see what. All right, what is it saying? Since you have it up, since I'm not just gonna.
I actually just quit, but the line that is continually getting it is. Hold on a second, let me scroll down.
Oh God, this is what I'm talking about. There's something very, 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 very wrong. If you look on my feed, that little glowy speck is my new ship design. It is so bloody tiny. Look how tiny the thing is. That is not right. That there's something really weird with the shipbuilder if that's coming through that.
I was actually trying to get
Small.
over to see what your ship looked like, and that's when I crashed.
All right,
so,
so
shall I reconnect now or not?
I'm not sure if it matters. It's continuing to spawn ships, and I don't know who they're after. They're just sending ships off into deep space. I don't know who they're trying to go after to go to kill. Fortunately, it isn't us.
I was hanging out over there. I'm probably drifting away.
You probably are at that. Yeah, because even the turrets are like pointing straight up because, like, you know, I don't know, is Galactus coming in or something like that? It's like, everybody fire!
No, the turrets have been firing at things as they get closer.
Well, I'm at the enemy base, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, immediately the first thing they're going after is someone up in deep space. I was like, what the? I don't get it, but that's okay. But, I mean, what's sort of funny is I'm looking at their builder bot, and I'm looking at the ship I'm flying in, and the ship I'm flying in is smaller, and so it's just this glowy splat, and it's sort of like this micro thing. It's like, so something really wacky is going on with the scaling.
I want to try something, so I'm going to join in.
Okay,
I
please
was
do.
about to try to record something to show it to you, but
Okay.
then that's when I crashed. So let's see what happens.
I get it. So if I turn off the camera, and I'm back in the, so I'm back in the ship. Oh, I didn't go back in the ship. I should go back in the ship. So I can fire, but now I'm back in the ship. There we go. The shipbuilder definitely needs some Law 11. Something's really not running right with it.
I quit out before I crashed again.
Alright, I'm going to try and connect then. I have frozen, but no, I'm crashing the desktop. I noticed that I'm like digging on, I'm in the planet's surface, so that might be what the problem is.
Well, it should kick you out as soon as you move further enough away from the edges.
No, I mean I'm actually like
Oh,
down.
that's you nose deep into the dirt?
Yep, that's my ship.
Yeah, I
moved
watched
it.
the AI come and smash its face into you while you were away.
Okay.
I was wondering who that was.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
so
frozen.
I just sent a
I
video.
know I'm crashing, Arthur. Just give it a second. You should be unfrozen now.
Yep, thank you.
I just sent a video. What happened is I hit one of the controls I had set up for when we had the fleet tests.
Yeah.
So it had me occupy another vehicle. Okay.
Right.
Let me try to find another one that's actually useful to use.
Mm-hmm.
I hit it like 2-3 times and then ended up not quite sure what I was in. But as soon as I got in there, the screen started doing what I sent in the video.
All right, let me look. Yeah, I hopped into that one too. I don't know who that is.
I was just like, what the?
Oh, do you know what it probably is? It's probably one of the boxes. So you just possessed an ore box. Congratulations.
Well, no, here's the
You were
thing.
down queue.
Did you get out of it?
Yeah, because I decided to say, screw it, I want to possess one of my other ships.
Well, because I tried to use the same control to then go, okay, what's the next one I can get to? Because I literally, it was like the third or fourth one I hit.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, let me hit the next one. I couldn't get out.
No, I ended up possessing the builder bot, and then I hit it again. I went back into the box. And so what I ended up doing was I had to manually go find my ship and I had to repossess what I had.
Is that why Builderbot won't listen to me anymore?
Possibly.
He's not building stuff when I tell him to.
Okay.
I think we should probably restart.
I think so. We'll go to the older save because this is borked. There's definitely a level of borking here, and yeah.
But as another note to talk about though, there's a couple things on the like I definitely have computers too. There's a couple things that are not acknowledging that I should absolutely be able to research them. It's not just the research facilities. Cockpits too won't let me do it either.
It might just be a path thing. I mean, like you said, this is the first time that
It's,
the
you
tech
know,
web is tested through.
As I say, it's a tech web mark. It's just something is not getting flagged.
Right. I just want to blow up this stupid freaking warehouse. It's sitting here. It's mocking me.
I will
It's
exit.
looking at me, Ray.
Yes.
I guess I'll exit the game until you have the server back ready for the next setup.
Well, should we go from pure 0, or should we just continue where we were every time? Oh, there it goes. Whee! Die.
Let's try pure 0.
Pure 0? Okay. We'll do that then. Actually, while we're at it, now the server's out. While we're at it, we can see what happens if we're in different teams. So someone's beta versus server being alpha. We have never tried that.
I suspect that based on the way you set up, it's going to still spawn us all right next to each other.
No. It shouldn't, actually. It will, I mean, it'll spawn you as far as the enemy was. If that's what you mean.
Ah.
So in that respect, yes. But I wish I knew.
I
What
will
was...
go onto either team and just build things.
Fair enough. I gotta figure out why my joystick is not being nice to me today. Alright, so host is up.
So I join in for this now since we're doing
Yes.
a new one.
Yes.
All right.
Alright, back. My game is still kind of loading up.
Now, did any... Oh, yeah, did that fix happen, by the way? Meaning, are you still getting, like, this massive lag out coming into the game?
Pardon?
Is it still taking you forever for all the graphics to load?
It is because I don't know where to go get the config file. I was going to ask you about that later.
Okay, well...
I'm noticing that if I like go to the menu and go into the multiplayer join screen, I just see black boxes first, and it takes a while for the actual graphics to load in.
That's
Like-
what's supposed to do.
Right.
Now, one of the settings that Matt and I were talking about is putting into config that it doesn't work that way, that you can actually decide that, hey, you know, I'll wait in the splash screen until all the graphics are loaded. But that's
That's
going to be a lot
interesting.
longer.
I was just trying to select my rank, and now it suddenly sent me to a blank version of the. Now I'm back at the join screen, like the Omniball like selection of join.
Well, because you clicked on the Omni Ball.
Ah. All right, rejoining, I guess. And I crashed. We'll try that again.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen. That's why it's taking me a sec. I'll be right back.
So see, everybody's on beta. That should be interesting. Except Jordan, so I guess I should make myself the Warmaster for Alpha. Okay, you don't have to be my team. You can try it on a different team.
I was trying to balance the teams.
Okay.
Like literally, I picked beta because I'm like, okay, Warmaster's already picked, and it's 2-2.
So it's me, Jordan, and you, and Adam's on beta.
Matt has. I'm not seeing Matt's settings like in a team or a rank.
Yeah, Matt hasn't selected yet.
Okay.
I will need someone to be the mayor because I do not know how to use the builder bot quite well.
Hold on, I gotta rejoin because I also hit the Omniball.
We gotta move that to somewhere else. Tell you what, you see the spot between the player name and the selected chip? Up on the upper title, that's obviously white space. We can throw it up there and it won't interfere as much. Does that make sense?
Hold on. I have to get back in before I can see it.
Now, did someone else, I don't know if the chat was working. Is the chat, did anybody else say anything ever?
I did not move the text yet.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the stream
And
chat.
back.
Did anybody actually ever type anything other than what I did initially?
I can't type anything in there.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Oh, there it
Arthur-
is. It's
Ar-
way off the screen. Okay.
I'm talking about the YouTube stream
No,
chat.
there's been
Oh.
no what's a chatter on the
typed-
YouTube chat.
I typed something in that said stream will start soon, but that's it.
Yes.
No, there's been no chatter. I've been watching it.
Well, that's what I mean. I was just trying to see, was anybody else coming in? Obviously, the plugin is doing what it's supposed to be doing because it's just sort of sitting there and there's nothing updated. So if you're actually still looking at it, Jordan, could you actually type in something just so I can see
Sure.
it? Because I want to see if the damn thing works for obvious reasons. There you go. Stream chat test. So it does work. So
And then my game disappeared.
you should be able to alt tab back into it.
I'm doing it on my iPad, Arthur. Completely different device.
But then how can you say your game disappeared?
Meaning, on my iPad is YouTube. On my computer is the game, and at that exact moment, it wasn't even like a slow crash. Like suddenly, the game was completely closed.
Okay.
I guess we'll chalk that up to a random then.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Give me a minute, I'll
So
be back.
I guess we're just waiting. Ogre, you want to select the ship? All right. Now, Jordan, you want to be on Alpha, or yeah?
Yes.
Is there anyone on Beta that actually knows how to construct cities?
Yeah.
I do not, so because I missed last episode. What can
Last
I say?
episode.
Yep.
On a Life and Times.
Yes. When last we left our heroes.
Last episode on rank Warmaster.
All right, I'm gonna go in when Jordan's in or not. He can join us once we're in anyway.
Okay.
Um, it should work. We'll see. All right, let's see if this actually works. All right, I'm in. So, where is everybody else? So I see us. There's those two. Are we all next to each other? Did it screw up? It might have. How many builder bots do we have? We have a Lord Art builder bot, which is mine. We have a mini Fire Dragon builder bot, which is over there. So you're the red. Okay, where's the enemy builder bot? Oh, there's a cyborg one over there. They're way the hell over there. Oh. So we're in this large gaggle of ships. They just have the builder bot. And that's... yeah. So...
Meaning, like, did it not give them any ships, or like
No,
their ships are over here?
No, they only had the builder bot. That was always true. So I see Ernest and his guys over on the far side, and I see Ernest and two other ships, or one other ship.
Our builder bot is owned by you right now, Arthur?
Yeah, but you can just take it.
No, meaning like that's how I try to keep track of which one I'm supposed to be looking for.
Right. So I'm coming over here to sort of look at. Yeah, we have 3 ships plus the builder bot, so that's working the way it's supposed to. There they are. And take little mind pot shots, but there you go. But yeah, no, that's working. So that actually worked the way it was supposed to. People are just that far out.
I will destroy you!
So now, Jordan, you're on Alpha, so you're actually doing the city thing.
Yep.
Okay, so people might want to help Ernest, and I think this Adam said he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I can't actually control it.
How do I? Well, how would I give you control of such things?
There's an art to getting the builder bot to do what you want.
You can do it from the nav screen. My God, it's so much easier to do it from there. But you just can't get the menu up, or just nothing will happen. Adam, when you say you can't control it, what aspect of that do you mean?
Alright, never mind. I'm good.
Okay. I see that people are running around.
I am turning up your budget, Adam.
Right now, since
speaking
there's
of
no
which-
money, because there's no stuff, it would probably make that much of a difference, but there you go.
Well, at least I don't have to remember to do it, man.
True, true. I mean, once it really happens, that's a good point. Jordan, since you're doing that, I'll crank your budget up.
Yay.
So are we all like fighting the AIs, or are we fighting each other? With
Yes.
the
Whatever you're
chains?
most comfortable with.
Yeah, pretty much. All right,
I am
let's
not
see.
fighting anybody. I'm building turrets to do that for me.
Okay.
That's what you think, Jordan. I'm coming after you.
You do realize he's on our team, you know.
Answer.
Yeah, except it's on we're on the same team.
Yeah, that's not a problem there.
Probably still the correct answer.
Okay, so I just cranked Jordan up so he's getting 40% of the take. And evidently, according to this, we have the research building done and the electric build, the reactor done. Excuse me. Even though I haven't noticed it myself because I haven't exited the screen. Yeah. Matt, we need to do a bypass so if you're on the Omni ball, it doesn't affect the Omni grids. Do you have that in your notes?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. It's a simple thing to do. It just needs to be done. All right. So looks like Ernest and crew haven't built anything yet.
Probably not.
Um,
Paul, you don't know how to use the builder bot yet, do you?
I think, shown one time. I forgot.
Because
I'm
I
working
took all
on
your
it.
money away, so that's why I was asking, just in case you need it.
Extremely inconvenient to you have to actually go all the way over to the builder bot in its face and tell it to build, and then go all the way over to the place where our city
Yeah.
is, and then basically drop it down.
there is actually a simpler way, but it's risky.
I have it selected though, so
Wait, why do I not have the option to do research when we already have a research station down?
Do you? I didn't think you had anything down yet.
Then what's the space that I'm right over?
Ours? Oh, that's the enemy. Well, it depends where you are. Where's Adam?
I thought we were supposed to start with some buildings.
No, you don't start with anything. Yeah, Adam, that's the enemy base. That's the AI space. That's the Warmaster space. That's not you.
Yeah, well, you can't tell with the colors, so.
Yeah, I
You
know.
can. I'm not saying that it's not screwy. That's like I said. I think one of these times I should just go, okay, Arthur, just fix all these stupid things. Don't try to do new features. Just fix.
Yeah,
I think especially if we're going to be doing more multi-team tests, the IFF has become critical now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to
They're friend or
tell
foe.
where I'm supposed to be. like I'm over at your base right now, and I should be at my base.
See, I
Yeah,
can
like
tell
all
the
these
difference because I
buildings
mean,
are
you guys are showing up as red. The Warmaster, meaning the AIs, are showing up as white, or sort of a gray kind of thing because they're pure neutral. And now you guys changed to yellow because the friend or foe is just like screwed. I really got to go in there and change.
Yeah, my
that.
colors just all changed from yellows to blues, so now I know my team is now one color while everyone else is another color. So
Right.
now
Your-
I can find out.
Your own people should always be blue, but yeah, it's kind of screwy. But yes,
well, our builder bot is going somewhere now.
is
So
it?
someone knows how.
Okay, there you
Someone knows
go.
how to do that.
There is an easier way, as I mentioned, rather than shoving your nose in it, but Adam's not wrong. It's yeah. All right. You know what I'm gonna do is I should assign it a key for, and I think we have that for the closest builder bot that you own that's on your team, and be done with it. And not have to use your nose to select things because that's the way I currently have it. See, the way I was supposed to do it is it's supposed to fire an invisible beam at the thing you want to talk to, and that's how it's supposed to do the selection. But as we've all seen, it doesn't work very well. Hey, fucking bastard!
Oh, that's a cyborg attack. You Arthur?
Uh,
That was interesting.
what, to try to blow me up as I was trying to observe what we were doing?
Yeah, he just like come right up behind you and just started.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I mean, I can be mean too. I could go over there and over to you guys and build my turrets.
Yeah, that's very true.
Little bastard just flew up and just.
Yeah, it's annoying because basically, like if a builder bot's too close to a building, you try and point your nose at it, it just keeps selecting the building.
Yes, and I know that's a fault, and that's always been a fault. And yeah, because the system doesn't know if you're trying to talk about the building, and that's part of the problem.
All right, so I hopefully just gave the builder bot the command to build another research. Okay, yeah, it's doing it. Cool. Well, it's doing that. Time for some research. Okay.
Okay, okay. Sure, well, there's an actual hole, or is that just the thing being stupid? That's just the thing being stupid. Yep, that's fine. Alright, we're getting a lot of chatter. Alright, Ernest, you're...
I was moving something out of my speaker just in case it was making that noise.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like you have a although I don't know why our own people would be in red, but maybe I'm not in the right area. 'Cause I'm not in the right area. That's Adam. Never mind. Adam, do you ever try to do it from the nav screen, or you just said screw it?
What's that?
Have you ever tried to build things from the nav screen before?
No.
It is a lot easier, but it also has its twitchiness. I won't debate that. Ernest, you're still getting a lot of chatter from your speakers or whatever it is.
Oh, alright, hold on. Let me, I'm gonna, whoops. Let me go to my team viewer. I think to fix it. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
No problem.
I think I know what the problem is.
Yeah, they're already have now sent out stuff.
Yeah, they've been bombing. They've been shooting me while I'm trying to fix stuff.
Yeah. So it's now a thing now.
Our first turret is up.
Good, because we need it.
Where are the buttons to actually like research stuff?
I mean, where are the buttons to research stuff?
Like I selected mine's one. I've selected the facility.
You
I
gotta
don't
drag
see
it. You drag it. It's a click and drag. You drag it on top of the building and it starts researching.
Alright. Putting down another turret, and then I'm going to give you a factory, Arthur.
Alright, thank you.
So is someone actually keeping these off of the base?
Well, the turret should, but even though the reality of that.
We still get noise on my end or not?
Yes.
How's it? It is? Damn. Alright, I got to push the talk on because I don't know what's causing it.
But for whatever reason, it's not shooting at Jordan. So maybe it's just the keys set up wrong or something. I don't know. Although now my keyboard's not responding. Oh, probably that would help. Derpa derpa.
There's a cyborg flying around my base.
Yeah. No, we gotta start base defending, or else we got problems.
Yeah, I figured out what I did wrong. I turned the sensitivity down instead of up.
Ah, yes, that would do it. Alright, this guy's gotta go. Oh, congratulations, you killed it. Woohoo! And yeah, they definitely got their stuff here.
Oof, I'm getting a lot of lag skipping.
Yeah, as am I, actually. Usually when someone's lag skipping is usually from either someone joining, which I always see all the time when that happens, or the system's getting network spammed. Now, I also get it when I do a save game, but that only happens once every 2 minutes. So I'm now flying around killing things.
Alright, let's put down a factory.
Maybe I should actually, I don't know. I'm curious what's causing the lag skip. Because it's okay, and then it's just like, eh. Well, the turrets are starting to fire on things at least. Or it did.
Yeah, they're firing things that get close enough.
Oh, okay. I forgot, the AI is actually smart enough to select a different target when something's disabled. So as soon as the reactor blew, it started doing it again. I personally finished them off.
Well, it's one less thing to look at on, skidding around on the ground.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. So interestingly enough, here comes a enemy ship. I think the turrets have noticed it, I hope.
Yeah, they'll just shoot it. Those turrets, I did
They are
note
shooting.
before I placed the turrets, I did note where the enemy was coming from.
Yeah.
So they keep crossing that path.
They are shooting them. They're not hitting them very well. Oh, they clipped them. Very minor clipping, but they got it.
All right, now the builder bot, if it will ever get anywhere, is supposed to go build the factory next, but it's stuck in place. It keeps it keeps moving out and then skipping back. I don't know, am I the only one seeing that?
No, it's just staying put. What do you mean moving out and skipping back?
It to me appears to be it flies out a little bit and then it skips back to right next to the turret.
I'm
That means
noticing
it's
that
not sending the order.
I'm noticing that I'm like jumping up randomly as I'm flying around.
That's because there's a glitch in the equation.
Does
That's,
that mean I need to tell it again to
Yes.
go do the thing?
Yes.
Okay.
See, you're locally acknowledges it happened, but the server's not acknowledging that the order happened. I should get into a speedier ship, I think.
There we go. Believe it or not, the appearance that the Builderbot is moving around when it's not can make it very difficult to target it to tell it to do things.
Like I said, you might want to learn the nav screen version of it, but that's okay.
I did the nav screen before, remember? It's so hard to fight with it constantly.
For some reason,
Mars has disappeared from me.
It
Yeah, for
should
some reason
It
still
can't be
come
just
back.
kind of skipping around.
to
not
open the
moving.
screen anymore.
All right, there's 5 people talking at once. One at a time, please. All right, Adam, what did you say?
I said I can no longer hit 0 or hit O to get my screen to open up. Oop, now it's working. It wasn't before. All right.
So you're talking about the menu.
Yes.
All right, there you go. Jordan, you were saying something, I believe.
I gave it the order again. Nothing's changed.
All right, I'm gonna see what happens.
Whoever's
I'm gonna
building, we need
attack.
more power.
What's that?
Whoever's building, we need more power.
Yeah, that's a whole separate issue. We're trying to resolve that particular issue. So now I'm in the thing. That's a ship. That's a ship. What we're trying to do, have it build what?
Get a factory.
Get a factory. So we want a factory. I'm gonna put it here. And it's not moving. Is it damaged?
A little.
Define a little.
It has damage to one of its 4 quadcopters. It has lost some armor and some hull.
Yeah, but what is the status of it?
Armor hull breach.
Okay, so it should still be intact enough.
Nothing. That's what I mean by a little. Nothing critical.
All right, because it's not responding to. It's not responding to my hails.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me zoom in on it. Yeah, it's right here. I go build. And you said you want a factory one right here. Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Nope. Wait. Maybe. Nope.
I think it got blown up. Now, that's a good question. What happens if I possess it? So I'll see if I can get in it and see whether or not that's kind of the problem. Alright, so... Oh, no, it's because its engine's blown out. What do you mean you're saying it's just...
Yeah, I just see what's up. The yellow symbol with it looks like a light explosion on the side. That's hull breach, right?
Yeah, when I
That is
selected
the
it,
only
it's...
symbol I have.
As the server, it has as the engine's knocked out. That's why it's not moving anywhere. So,
Okay.
as a game, we're dead in the water because we never got a factory up. So we can't actually build another builder bot.
I didn't know it was dead.
Yep. I think the enemy Warmasters did their job and disabled our builder bot, and that's it.
Oh well.
I know. I could use my godly powers of restoration, and then everything gets healed, but that's neither there. Should I do such a thing?
Yeah.
You might as well if you want to continue, or we have to restart, wouldn't we?
All right. Notice now is moving.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we must have the build multiplier up because these buildings are going up way fast.
Yeah, no, I remember it's actually at times 10 right now. So you're not wrong. So the question is, do I exit out and come back in and put the build multiplier back down to 1?
I mean, for test purposes, I think this is good.
Okay. Meaning, so we keep it where it is right now.
Yeah, that's more just basically I wanted to confirm that is what is happening. It's
Yes,
not a
that
glitch.
is what's happening. No,
Okay, that's cool.
that is what's
All
going
right,
on.
factory's up if you gentlemen want to start making ships.
Well, thank you, Adam, but I guess you're on the other team.
I just want to know why I'm getting all this lag jumping. So I assume what it's going to attempt to do now is the last order. It was the last order was given, which was from you, right?
Yes. And I
Okay,
told
so-
it to go build a thing, but what it did was it just came over to the refinery, grabbed a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff, and now it's going to go back to where I told it to build a factory, which is right next to the damn turrets. That's why it's going that way. But it came over here to get the other stuff first.
Just slightly nauseating trying to watch it go and then jump back every few seconds.
I missed the last time. How did we open up the factory window?
To build a design, you mean?
Yeah.
Or did you make a design?
I haven't done anything yet.
Alright, well, you gotta make a design before going to the factory, because otherwise it's not gonna help you very much. Unless you just want to build a bot.
I'm fine. Well, now I'll just.
Okay, factory's done, by the way.
Yep, I just saw that. I hear something firing. Oh, we have invaders. That's nice.
Invaders in.
Something like that. There's a lot of people above us, actually, so there's something going on here.
I'm just shooting cyborgs. I don't know what I'm doing.
Now, I know I'm asking for this by saying this, but at least no one's crashing.
Yeah, you said it, and guess what just happened? Just as
Damn
you
it,
said
Arthur.
I'm crashing.
Are you
Just
fucking
as
kidding
you said
me?
it. Just as you said the words, just as you started to speak, my game froze.
Oh,
Oh,
Are you all actually crashing, or are you just messing with Arthur?
I'm
No,
still in.
I'm a
I'm still
circle
in.
right now.
My
I'm
screen is
still in.
frozen currently.
I'm gonna end task.
well, now the server is frozen because
Hold
someone
on,
hasn't
let me
disconnected.
end task. Hold on, let me get out of this because I am completely locked up. There you go.
I just quit out since you're gonna pull the plug on the server anyway.
It should come back for you.
Well, someone else is causing it because I'm still not back yet.
I'm fine.
Well, the server's frozen.
I'm out completely. So
Oh, that wasn't you. Then someone else is causing the problem.
I have just now frozen, but I think it's me catching up with the server.
I think it's you catching up with the server, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm still flying around.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Well, that's part of why I mentioned it.
Yep. Alright, maybe...
Oh wow, I turned on the terrain debugging at just the right spot, and I'm right over one of the knit points, so it's just these enormous green and blue stripes beneath me.
Woohoo.
That's pretty cool.
Now, for whatever reason, I can't seem to bring up... Yeah, I mean, the server's still sitting here waiting for things.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
Am I good to rejoin?
Now, because now the server's back, someone actually finally quit.
I'm still actually in the game, and it jumped all of a sudden
Yeah,
and said back.
It's active again.
Well, actually, the server's finally sending packets again. I don't know what the hell just happened, but someone quit, and when they finally quit, the server went back to active.
Where is our... Why is our builder bot 7,000 whatever's away?
Because we're paused for about 5 minutes, and then it was moving, and so it went whatever times that, and so that's going to come all the way back.
Alright, well, that reactor I just ordered is going to take a little while.
Yep.
all right, I'm joining in right now.
As I can tell.
I'm in.
You sure about that? There you go. Or not.
Huh? I'm moving around.
It's just very lag spiky. It's really horrible.
It is pretty awful.
I see you building the reactor there.
Yep, we have a reactor now. Another reactor. And I think I'm gonna go to Turret City now.
That's fine. Matt, one of these things we got to do one of these times to do some profiling and see where the lag's coming from. I know optimization is supposed to be a beta stage thing, but you know, these lag spikes can't just keep continuing the way they are. Alright, now something's shooting at me because I'm sitting still.
But the problem with the builder bot pathing is the builder bot never tells to do something. He's got to take a quick, Tour de France around our base and expose itself to every ship in the area.
Yeah, well, see, that's the whole thing. There's a lot of problems with the AI. So I can either fix it or put the new AI structure in, which is what I want to do. And I don't want to just waste time fixing old stuff that's going to go away anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
That's the problem. So I'm going to need priorities from everybody. That's the other thing, is because the crowdfunding's coming. What's the most important for that? So it's a bunch of different concepts of what's high priority or not.
I just rejoined and apparently crashed.
Yes, I noticed that.
Okay.
It took me like 3 tries to get back in last time.
See, I don't know if half these massive pauses I'm getting are from you guys joining, or there's something wrong in the game, and I just don't know because no one says what's going on. So how about when people join in and say, "Hey, I'm joining," so I know if it's it or something else. And if it freezes completely, then it's because someone froze and crashed versus something else. If you know what I mean.
Right.
See, now it's pausing out again, but I don't know why.
That's kind of funny. But like the turret, guns show up first, and then the turret base slowly grows up to meet it.
Yeah, because that one's set with the shrink and grow effect, whereas the guns aren't set that way.
Alright, gonna try and join again. Connecting.
Yeah, I have the feeling that whatever... Matt, we're going to have to play this with us and then do profiling and then figure out definitively when we have a lot of things on screen what's actually causing the problem.
I have no problem with that.
Because at this point, I mean, I'm pausing out right now. I guess it's because Paul's joining. I could be wrong. But now
I
I'm
was just
sitting
trying
here.
to join and now I got a black screen and I just crashed. So
when he joins, it takes the rest of us out, and then that's kind of the end of it.
I stand by until further notice then?
For right now.
All right.
Obviously, whatever's going on is causing a problem.
Are you still in the game, Ernest?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to keep these 5 orcs off the builder bot.
Nice. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, and now it pauses out again, and now it's going again.
All right. I'm basically putting up a bunch of turrets now, so shortly we should be fairly well defended.
Yeah, I saw them working, so I was good to see that. But it did nick the builder bot, so I don't know if the
Yeah. Fortunately, the turrets are a little iffy in terms of their aim. I noticed I kind of had to basically intervene myself and ensure the job got done.
You're not wrong. So, what are we doing at this point? Now, the multiplayer test worked, the new graphics worked, and all the rest of that stuff. The frame rate is really abysmal right now.
I'm at 56 right now for this.
Well, I'm at 12 because of OBS. I mean, it's really horrible for me. So what is everybody else's frame rate, actually, since we're talking about that?
34.
50s.
30.
Okay.
I didn't
At the
take a
moment,
look when I was in.
24, 25.
You're at 24, 25? Okay. Because like I said, I'm at 12, and so that's why it's really ridiculous for me. Everybody else being at where they are. So, alright, let's... Someone said they were at 50?
I was at 60 right now myself.
Okay.
I'm
What's
at
your hardware?
58.
What's your video card in there?
And what's your resolution and
Oh,
everything?
my video card's an NVIDIA GeForce TI.
TI what?
I think it's 1050 or 1040.
That's
Yeah,
not
mine's-
a 1040.
Yeah, mine's a 980. 980, and I'm at 25 by 14.
I got
Yeah,
too many
all right.
different
Well, let's
video
take a step back. What's your resolution? So it goes right that way.
I'm gonna try and rejoin so I can see what my frame rate is, assuming I don't crash.
1920 by 1040. That's what screen resolution is.
So you're running 1080p then, or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's
Yeah,
that
I'm
makes
at
sense.
like 15 to 24, but or this hit 30, but I'm running 4K.
Yeah, I'm running 4K as well.
Yeah, I'm running 2K.
So, but
I'm also not right all the action.
So it's also, well, that part won't make a difference. Like I said, so this isn't a graphic issue per se. I think it's an internal issue, and that's why I want to do some profiling, which is a way of checking how long it takes to be inside the function.
I'm running at like 60 frames per second at 4K resolution.
Are you actually in the game?
Yes, I am right now.
Okay.
I'm oscillating between high 30s and like 50.
I wonder if it's a memory swap issue. I wonder if I'm out of memory and it's just swapping out or something. And that's a possibility. I mean, I play in memory, but this is still a 3D-bit program, so.
All right. I am now up there, Mars. If you get too close to the ground, apparently Mars disappeared.
Depends where you are. And then yes, that there's the
Well,
thing that lets you that tells the system what resolution to do what needs tweaking.
well, I was pretty high above my own city. The next note, there was a glitch, like a twitch.
Right.
I was in the ground, and
Yep.
Mars was gone.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It'll come back.
Yeah, well, it did. It came back.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
It's an equation glitch. If you hit at the right spot, whatever, it just goes, no, it's not there. Really, it isn't, Clark. And it's like, oh. It's like anything else. Because it's cosmetic, for the most part, and it only happens 1% of the time, it was never high enough priority for me to fix. Same thing with the performance issue that we're having now. It was always good enough, but now that we have a lot of things moving around, the performance is quite bad. And it's not that the video cards need like a 2080 Ti or something like that. That's not the issue. It's being CPU limited. I will guarantee you that. I bet you if you had something up that showed you how hard your GPU is working, it's probably running at 50%. It's probably not maxed out at all. Now, when they expect most of the screen, that's different, but that's the exception, not the rule. So, if it's the weapons fire causing it, then I'll put the octrees back in and some other things. If it's some other things, I can start offloading a lot of stuff to the other processors. As I mentioned, I've already just put the infrastructure in for stuff after loading the pictures, like the terrain. The terrain, if you notice, no longer is causing lag spikes.
Well, just for your reference, Arthur, it's a GTX 1050i running at 40% right now.
That's my point. So it's not. There's a CPU issue, not a GPU issue.
Question: how do you get stuff into the factory queue?
Drag and drop.
All right. Yeah, mine's not working.
Okay. Do you have a design?
Yep. I'm trying both the design I made and the.
All right. Did you click on the factory?
Yep. I clicked on the factories. I can see the queue thing up here.
Yeah.
I can mouse over the queue. There's nothing in them. When I drag and drop both my test chip and the ZAR, the builder bot, it's not putting either of them in the queue. At least not visually.
It might be working. There is a bug where it's getting into the queue, but it's not spawning the image. It's not retaining the image in the queue on the screen.
Do you see a countdown timer appear? Is the first question.
No. It's basically I'm dragging and dropping and I see no reaction.
Okay. The next question would be, do you have enough money? If you go on the asset screen, how much you got? And then how expensive are the ships that you're building?
I have like 22,000 refined materials. It should be more than enough.
Okay, you're not wrong. You should be able to drag and drop. I mean, if I go into the factory screen now, and I go click because the thing is really ridiculous. Now you have the big blue bar that goes halfway across.
I guess.
Do you see it or don't you see it?
I'm
If you
not
don't
sure
see
what
it,
you're talking about.
if you click on the factory, you should see a blue Q bar that goes halfway across the screen.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. Now all I'm doing now is dragging the builder bot onto it. And when I do so, if the thing pauses, I should get a countdown timer, and I have the quantity on my screen. Because you tried to do the same.
I see a countdown timer.
Nope, I did the exact same thing, and I'm not getting anything. Is this something that I can't do, that I need permission from the Warmaster to do, or what?
No. No, not at all. So now we have a new builder bot on our end, if you care, Jordan. But we have never tried it with beta team doing it. Now, I would assume it would work because the Warmaster's doing it, and they were usually beta team. So I don't honestly know. Man, what is going on with my joystick? I mean, this thing's supposed to auto-calibrate, and it just drifts.
I just put it out by accident.
All
I'm
right.
coming back in.
All right. When you come back in, could you do me a favor and attempt to basically build that test ship I made?
That's what I was actually trying to do when I hit the Q button, because I was trying to figure out what button I had to hit to get that to open the window.
That's very strange.
All right, coming back in. Oh, crash the desktop.
See your little boy just drifting away.
Yeah, great.
Alright, someone's coming in and pause the server, I suppose.
I haven't come in yet. I'm loading up the game now.
Yeah.
Coming in now.
That's interesting
All right,
looking.
I'm in. Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't
sorry.
take that long to get in, so I don't understand. I guess it's just the other pausing that's causing the problem. I'm very curious what's causing the
All right, so-
FPS spiking. If it was
So how do I-
OBS... Alright, I'll shut up. Go ahead, Ornist.
So how do I get to the screen in order to do the factory thing?
You don't go to the access screen for the factory.
I know. I'm asking how do I do the steps to do the factory?
You go to the, open up the OmniBall, you go
Uh-huh.
to the lower right, what looks like an upside
Upside-down
down
factory.
Space
Okay.
Invader.
Gotcha.
Alright, and then
That
you...
should be fixed, by the way.
Yes. Then you click on the planet. Alright.
Uh-huh.
And then you click on the city. And you click on the factory. And once you see that, a big blue bar should appear.
Got that.
And then you should be able to drag the design that's on the right hand side
The dreadnought.
onto the blue bar. And it should start... A countdown timer should appear, even if...
Nope. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Well, it
No
works
timer.
on my end. What... I guess, Matt, it makes sense for our testing that would be on different teams and see whoever's
Okay.
on the beta team if they can build something. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure. So that's a thing. We have to do this profiling because it's driving me batty. I mean, these guys are at least running at 30 frames a second. I'm running at 12.
Yeah, I'm
I
still at
realize I'm
60.
running OBS, and that has a lot to do with it, and I get that, but it's just really hard.
Is the AI just focusing on a beta team? Because we haven't had anybody come by here in a while.
Somehow
Nope.
they're
No.
closer. No, they
One's
came
over
over here.
It is not getting attacked.
The nearest ship I got is flying at 20. It's not getting really close. 24K away. I don't know where they're going, but
Yeah,
they're flying
that's
away from us.
why I'm saying that the AI needs an over. Which is I want to do
Oh.
it because then everybody else can write their own AI, and I don't have to even interfere. It'll just be an external file. So it'll be a very significant upgrade. Right now, the AI is rather scripted, and so it doesn't react to things. It just does. Whereas the new AI would react to things and make decisions rather than just follow the script. I see you guys blowing stuff up over there.
Yeah.
I know. So, in all the system is working, I'm looking at Jordan's menagerie of things here, which is kind of nice, but, you know.
I like to be safe.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. You should probably put some turrets on the opposite side of the thing because they fly by. You know.
Sure.
But it doesn't really matter. We're probably gonna exit out.
Yeah. It is just about. It is getting close to 6 o'clock.
Right.
True. Wow.
So.
I crashed.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually made a second factory and attempted to drop stuff into the factory queue for that, and I think it crashed me when I attempted to drop.
That's my phone. And spam, yay. And I have to reach across there to get to it because... Oh, bloody hell. Alright. So... we have our work cut out for us, Matt. We gotta figure out what's causing the pausing once and for all. Where's everybody else comment? So now we're kind of at the comment time of the night. What should we comment on? What are your
How big of
impressions?
a problem
that kind of
is
thing.
the IFF?
I have no idea. I haven't gone in there in a very long time.
Because I'd like to say the IFF, but ultimately, it's sort of like the AI. It depends on like if the IFF is a 2-day problem, then I'd say do that and then work on the AI. If the IFF is a big problem, then it's not. It becomes not as important.
I won't honestly know until I'm actually going through the code. That's kind of the problem. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I also haven't gone in there in a very, 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 very long time. So I don't know what it really is.
Honestly, the lag spikes just looks bad, and that needs to be fixed ASAP. And then after that, I'd personally say the AI and its pathing is really dumb.
Well, the AI overhaul is going to take me weeks to do. I'm not debating that. I'm doing it on the weekend because I've been interested in... I'm very fascinated by the new way of doing the AI. I intend to go to what's called utility theory, which will allow people to start writing behaviors for the ships and the Warmasters and the admirals and stuff like that, and we can constantly tweak it without doing another
Yeah, Arthur,
load.
getting some,
Yes.
some weirdness here.
Yeah.
So when I have two factories,
Yes.
I click on Mars, I click on the installation.
Yep.
Installation 1, and then I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different although the Q bars all over the screen in random places.
Okay then.
And every time I do that and go back in, now my screen's almost completely filled up with Q bars, and I still only see one automated factory instead of both of them.
Well, Matt, you have your work cut out for you then.
Okay, well, make a note.
Now there's so many, they're all banging into each other and vibrating all over the screen. It's like a war of the Qs.
They're breeding.
They are apparently. This is a. I wish I'd left my screen capture software up because this is funny.
Well, that's what happens. Like I said, this is still alpha development. We're not even in beta yet. You know.
Crash.
I figure if possible for next time, clicking on the omniball should...
Alright, you had clicking on the omniball should, and then you cut out.
Then fire your weapons.
Ah, yes.
There's nothing like aiming at your builder bot and then going to click on the omniball and bam, there goes your builder bot.
Yep. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I actually had requested earlier that it would be so helpful if we could just like have a dedicated keyboard on the key on the keyboard to open and close the omniball. So in addition to like,
I'd just go as far as when you hit tilde to stop, moving your ship around, you should also stop firing weapons when you click.
Safety weapon.
Like, if you're not controlling the ship, you're not controlling the ship.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Gun safety, yes, I agree.
Well, the problem is if you have something like an alternative input, like your joystick, you're always in that mode anyway. So that's kind of the issue there. Like, I'll probably have to put something in there saying, all right, do they have a joystick, disable this, etc. See, that's where the problem comes in. So, it is. All right. So, other suggestions, just so we have things here. Now, the intention is for next time we do want to actually be able to join an already existing game
Hmm.
as one of the
Oh,
added
the hot join.
features. A hot join. Once you're in, even if you're just a derelict. You know. And that might be a thing that the Warmaster has to give you a ship. I mean, so you have to have a factory up in the whole 9 yards for that seems allowed to happen. But because otherwise, what do you come in with? You know, it can't just spawn in with something. So a something would have to be built. Is what comes into being. Other than that, which I guess I'll have to talk to Matt about because right now we have something saying that, hey, you want to bring this guy in and have them be human, and that's a thing. Although I guess it's okay if you have a possessed ship, and then that's okay. You'll just sort of be a ghost until you actually get a ship or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure out how we'll handle that one or the other.
I mean, yeah, because there's got to be a setting for if you don't want to bother with a ship at all and you just want to spend your time on the nav screen.
That's true.
I guess that's another possible priority. The nav screen. Just, I would love to be using the nav right now.
I would be too.
Hmm.
So that requires a lot of love, and like I said, there's still a lot left to do in the game, plain and simple. So someone's trying to kill our own stuff. I guess our own people are trying to kill our own stuff.
So I was just flying around your base, and eventually, your laser turrets finally decided to start shooting me.
Hmm.
Yep, there they go, because you blew up a turret, now they see you as an enemy, and now they're trying to kill you.
I didn't blow up the turret yet, but I'm about to.
Alright, then I'm so lagged behind that it just happened?
No, I saw the turret blow up when Arthur was saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't me that blew it up, it was someone else.
Alright, then I gotta go see who that is. It's probably Adam, because that's kind of an Adam thing to do.
Funny, I have a whole bunch of empty little crosshairs, they're targeting reticles right over the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if those are just missing undeleted buildings or turret posts.
That's actually boxes.
Ah,
So
okay.
yes, of course, it was Adam.
I feel like they shouldn't have to blow up something before our stuff recognizes them as an enemy.
That's the problem with the AI, is that it doesn't react. It doesn't react very well at all.
Yup.
And
So
just because it's also a slightly more complicated issue, because just because your lasers brush against something doesn't mean that
all of a sudden you
your
declare
target-
war on you. Yeah.
like, ooh, I was shooting the ship that moved out of the way, so I hit it.
Well, Adam got me.
I took out the cyborg encampment. Very convenient. You just stand there, shooting at the buildings or the turrets, and the turrets just stand there, staring into space until they blow up.
Yeah, I couldn't blow up any of these turrets. I was shooting at point blank and nothing happened.
Oh, Adam did. Adam had no problem with that. He blew up too.
Yeah, the key is when your capacitors are out, you're actually almost no damage. Wait for your capacitors to refill, and then continue firing.
Yeah, this is why.
You're basically, your beams look like they're at full strength, but they're really not.
I wasn't
Yeah,
using
they
a
really
beam. I was using the Odyssey ship. I just watched someone destroy the turret. I just spent a while bombing. No effect.
And I got my engines, so. But I ruined
Alright.
Jordan's hard work.
So
That's
should we
important.
exit out then?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to go to OBS and tell it to kind of go in the between, and we'll sort of talk about what we should really be doing here. So any suggestions for next time? Mind you, we can only get so much done in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Do
So
all the things.
yeah, pretty much. So hence, it's always priority. It's always whatever. Certain things take a lot longer than others. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, the IFF is probably the next. Once we start getting all these buildings going up, it's getting very hard to identify what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
the IFF and the select nearest builder that I own.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a thing, and that's a new feature. that we
Targeting
do.
stuff too.
Hmm.
Because yeah, it's getting pretty hard to basically target what you want. Like
Especially 'cause
targeting
it's
with something
like-
theoretical should be the baseline, I think, because everyone can point at something and hit a button and then get what they want. If you have to go through basically like basically dozens of ships and buildings, it becomes difficult.
Okay,
Especially
fair
it's like once if I'm decided I'm going to be the builder, I like when Adam or the enemy comes by, I am not using like the game's targeting to help me hit their ships because if I go off the builder bot, it's going to take me a while to get back.
Yep.
So Adam blew up your engines with basically no aim assist or anything because
Yep.
that's what I have to do.
You can do that with lasers because you don't need it. You don't need the assist. But if you're using any kind of pulse
But
weapon,
I'd also like to know what your health is like. I don't know when I only knew your engines were gone because you said something.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm just not even basically targeting anything. I'm just shooting it because it takes too long to acquire a target.
So
All right, so let's start that over a little bit. So what do you require? Because everybody kept them jumping over each other, and I don't even know what people were asking for.
So the shortcut to target nearest builder bot that you own.
Yeah.
And the IFF, so that at the very least at a glance you can tell what is yours and what isn't.
Okay.
And the ability to basically put your reticle over something and hit a button and acquire that as a target instead of having to go scroll through lists.
So yeah, I guess target that thing that I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunately it does try that and it screws up. And I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't.
Yeah. That's the problem. Like you see something like off in the distance, like, oh, what's that? Then you can't. It's not close, so you can't just target it with a single button press. So you have to basically like pound the button to basically scroll through until it finally gets to it. The more things are in the game, the longer the game goes on, the longer that takes.
No, I hear you. I'll figure something out. Usually it's a lot easier with that kind of thing in the nav screen, but I understand that there too.
I mean, the problem is like if you're in the middle of a dogfight, you don't really want to have to be going back to the nav screen, right? You can do that.
I'm not debating that, Adam. I am just saying, and usually when you're in a dogfight, you're not trying to target something that's so far away that you can't even try to get to it. You're usually trying more worried about the 5 guys jumping you rather than the guy that's 10 miles away.
It depends. If you're in like a fleet battle and you're trying to be tactical about it, you need the information, right?
Then you have to have if you need tactical, that's what the nav screen's there for. That's kind of the point. So I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but it's a matter of at a certain point there's got to be a cutoff.
Okay.
You either have you're dealing with everything's locally or not. If you're dealing with things that are much further away, I can't have a select that goes halfway across the solar system. I just can't.
That's just not possible.
No, it's not actually. The doubles and stuff like that aren't that precise. That's part of the problem.
One of the other problems is basically like when I'm looking at like an enemy base. Like I went over to like basically like your base, and literally it was just like a massive like one color because there's so many hexagons all over each other. I really couldn't see what was in the base because of all the UI elements. So like I think honestly like something like what like the Titans game we played, I think honestly that would be a little more efficient. Where basically like instead of having basically like this big massive color, like you have the like smaller icons that kind of like indicate what each building is. So when you like look at a base, you should see basically like a map of icons that you kind of have an idea what's there versus basically just sort of like a generic reticle for everything. I know that basically like because that actually impressed me because you have like multiple planets, things all over each planet, and their UI for basically like managing all that stuff was actually pretty impressively intuitive. Like it was very easy to go from basically different bases of different planets. Just scan around, try and find what you needed without having to basically like hunt through a bunch of different like UI prompts. I thought that was actually a really good way of dealing with like a really fast paced like RTS style thing.
Well, that's true, and maybe that'll be a thing that will happen. I haven't quite decided how we're going to handle that yet. The problem is it kind of works away if you're up close. When it's far away, I get it, but when you're up close,
Yeah,
it's different.
even like when I was like say like maybe like couple thousand feet away, approaching your base, which I would say would be in basically game terms is pretty damn close.
Mhm.
It was basically was still basically like really difficult to see what was going on in the base.
Well, that's going to have to be a discussion versus something I can just arbitrarily do something about.
Yeah, I like the idea of being able to turn the reticles off completely and only have one on the screen that's targeted your main target. That way, if you want to see what's around you, you're not seeing all these reticles. You're just seeing what you have targeted.
Yeah, that's why the one thing that the one like the mock-up that I suggested like previously had basically had like the hexagon reticle as being only your selected target, and everything else being having like a much smaller truncated reticle, like just like a dot or something, so you know that there's something like there that's important.
And then you have the other side where you have people who actually want to see all the information because they want to know if they're getting jumped or not. So I'm not going to just wipe that out yet.
Yeah, there should be an option, the toggle option is what I'm looking for. Because I like having all the reticles there, but there's a time where I just want to see thing on my reticle screen.
Then maybe it'll be a toggle for it or something like that. We have to come up with an alternative.
Yeah, because I do like the fact that I can target everything and see all the little things flying around here. But there's times where there's too many reticles and you're trying to find that one that you're actually shooting at. So I'd like to be able to toggle off everything else but what I'm aiming.
All right. Well, we'll see what can be done. As far as larger things go, I think Matt and I will look into the slowdown that we're getting. Certainly that. I also want to look into the. Do I work on? I mean, personally, I want to work on the AI, but that's neither here nor there. And keep in mind, when I say work on the AI, that means the current AI is going to be like lobotomized and started over on effectively. The current AI is running as a state machine. It works. It does its job. It's hard to debug. It's harder to make changes. It is what it is. I've been reluctant to fixing a lot of the quirks in the AI because I know I'm going to have to replace it. Because continuing the same way I'm doing it is just going further down to a rabbit hole that's never going to be used anyway. The thing that I want to express that if I say, oh, I want to replace the AI, doesn't mean it's going to work as well as it does now. It just means that it will have the potential of working as well, if not better, eventually. Is what it comes down to. It depends on how quick it is to write an AI in this new way of doing things. It will be externalized, which means working on the AI can be parallel development. If someone else actually wants to come up with some of the logic, they can actually just go into the utility and make its brain, literally, which is why I'm interested in it. It's also for the modding community in that respect, because then they can change the behaviors of the ships, and behaviors of the Warmasters, the Admirals, the Mayors, etc. I would not expect to get up to the same level of proficiency in 2 weeks. Unless that's really all I worked on, as the current AI is. But the ships will react more, they won't be as stupid. You start firing pot shots at something, it knows you're doing it, it'll change its actions, that kind of thing. Stuff like that. The other thing is obviously to spend a lot of time making the RTS screen, meaning the nav screen, much more usable and not what it is now. Mind you, what it is now is a hell of a lot better than what it was, but it's still not to the level where I feel that people can just kind of just live in there. So what is the priority for people then? More graphics, like setting ships on fire, that kind of thing. Engine effects, that kind of stuff. Some of the minor stuff that you mentioned, that's easy enough to put in. That's not the big deal. So what's everybody's point of view as far as priority goes?
I mean, again, I feel like I've said a lot. I want, the IFF and the quick targeting,
All right.
just to make things move a little faster.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Jordan there.
You almost forget my name.
No, I was actually clearing my throat.
Uh,
Yeah, I think making things basically like playable. I think essentially because we're truly trying to get basically out there sometime
Yeah,
soon.
but that you can't just say playable. That means the whole game's done. That doesn't tell me anything, Adam. I need specifics. I need, because you can't get everything done at the same time, so that's why I need priority.
Then I'd say UI issues,
Such as.
basically making sure the factory screen works, making sure that basically the research screen actually functions, and you can research everything you can, making sure you can target everything and see everything properly, and basically you essentially the act of playing the game is not a struggle.
Well, I agree. As far as the research, we will have to test that, but that could still be what is in the tech web itself. I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
I double checked my tech web in the middle of this. It appears to be coded correctly.
Okay.
So, at least as far as the research facility 2, it works. So, on my end, it is correct. If there's the thing with the hidden spaces or something that's causing an error, then I'm not really sure.
Okay. So like I said, I guess Matt and I or whatever will have to go through and research through TechQ and see what we can find one way or the other. See if we can get up to that. I'll just massively speed up researching speed so that we can quickly get through things. Then so that's the research side. Now the other side with the factory screen, Matt will tell you that was his first run at things, so some things in there are kind of creepy, as even he will admit. So we'll see why that's happening, meaning we'll sit there and go, okay, someone be beta, let the AI be gamma. Let's see if it's a problem that just happened to be that you're on a team that never existed before.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
We have to put it out that way. It shouldn't matter. The only thing that should limit you is whether or not you have enough money to do things. And you said you had 22,000, so I see the reason why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I tried building both like a 1200 cost test ship and a builder bot.
Mm-hmm. And you had a refinery up and all that, right?
Oh yeah, we had the full shebang going.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, Adam had 20K on my screen. I gave him all the income. I turned Paul's off and mine off.
Fair enough. There you go. Well, that's good to know. And we'll test that, see what's going wrong with it, and we'll fix it up. I'd expect a lot of these things to go on over the next couple months anyway, because as we're refining this to get this to go better. But that's why I wanted to sort of priorities. So some of these fixes will probably only take a couple of days. What are the other priorities? Is AI priority? Is fixing the nav screen the priority? What's the...
In the short term, I guess the nav screen would make the game little just overall more playable, because also there's the factor of the AI produces 6 bazillion units. If we want to match that at all, it'd be way easier to use the nav screen to control all those excess units.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say nav screen, so that at least we can level that playing field a little bit.
Also, like how do you effectively get out of screens?
You're supposed to click on the same thing or you hit escape.
Yeah, because every time I hit escape, it brings me all the way back out to the main menu, and I have to hit sandbox again.
You have to hit the sandbox with his escape.
Yeah, that's not really very effective.
Yeah, some of the navigation through the Omniball is being twitchy. I'm not debating that. That needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, because in the beginning when I'm trying to basically like constantly switch between basically like commanding the builder bot and then basically keeping the research queue going, I'd be constantly basically go into stuff, then hit escape, then hit sandbox, and go back out, and it's changing screens was kind of a pain.
Fair enough. We'll just have it so that the escape key doesn't go to the sandbox, that it goes to the previous screen or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Like if you're basically in one of the screens, escape will bring you back to the main game. And if you're in the main game and you hit escape, then it brings you back to like the main menu. Like that would work, right?
I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so it sounds like people want me to work a little bit more on the nav screen. Is what it comes down to.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'll do what I can in there. It mostly it works for the most part in there. I mean, I'm able to build buildings and cities pretty well. I guess it's mostly discussing some of the ways to make it easier to run around in there. Maybe we should have a sit down and powwow about, okay, what part of the nav screen are you fighting? And then, okay, well, I don't like this, Arthur's go, great, well, what's the solve for that then? You know, it's one thing saying we'll fix it, it's another thing saying, well, what do you want to turn it into? If you know what I mean. So I think that's a separate discussion that should be had. So, now the good news is that we didn't really get a chance to test today is earlier today when I was testing with Matt, I purposely took the builder bot from within the nav screen, told it to go build a completely separate building. So the first building wasn't finished. And I was able to click on the builder bot, and then once it finished the secondary building, click right back onto the first building that was still not completed, and it was able to complete it. So I thought that was kind of nice. So stuff like that. No votes. Well, like I said, I heard from Adam, I heard from Jordan. Ernest, what is your view?
Well, that's the UI and the nav screen are pretty much what I like to see work.
All right, so no one's voting for the AI. It sounds like. Ogre, what is your view?
I mean, how long is it going to take for the AI? That's part of the.
Weeks. And it's going to take me weeks
Right.
for the nav screen too.
We can play with poor AI for right now. Probably the nav screen makes sense.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Then that's the decision then. We'll fix what we can about the UI stuff and stuff like that, and I'll start tweaking the nav screen to try to get it to play nicer. It kind of plays okay now. The problem is when you go to other parts of the planet, it's not so much. I guess it's more understanding the limitations of how far it goes. It gets back to what Adam was mentioning about like trying to select something halfway across the universe. It doesn't work. So if you're zoomed in, let's say, so that on the nav screen you're zoomed in down to a single. Man, this thing just drifts. If you're zoomed into a point where you have a very close-up view of the ship you have selected, your selectable area is close to around that. Even though you can still see the planet's surface far away and some of the other stuff that's far away, it's not selectable because your range of selection doesn't extend that far. And so that's, I'll admit, is counterintuitive, but there's a reason for that. The problem is that a slight twitch ends up being miles difference when you go further out, if you will. So it's stuff like that that causes the problem that makes it somewhat twitchy. Then you have, okay, right mouse button rotates, and sometimes the buttons stick, if you will, so it keeps on rotating. Stuff like that that needs to be updated. And probably a larger discussion about some of the things that we have on the main screen. It's still using the old reticles on the nav screen. Do we change them? Do we, what do we do with it? That kind of thing. And that's a discussion versus just me fixing, but I'll do what I can and I'll make decisions and see what people think. That's all I can do. Okay, well, it's 6:12. Any other comments?
Nope.
I'm good.
Alrighty then. All right. Well, again, thank you all for coming. I'll get what I can get done in the next 2 weeks, and we'll see what it is in 2 weeks from now.
Alrighty.
Cool,
See
cool.
ya.
Sounds good.
Cool.
See you later.
Excellent. Thank you again, and thank you everybody for joining us, and see you next time.
User disconnected from your channel.